Welcome back to IXION and the rather creepy part of the game we have now entered. We have a couple of goals for this specific episode. I haven't done anything in between episodes this time. Rather, I'm going to do things in the episode itself. I'm going to make use of the pause function, but the plan and goal is to get to the other side of this storm. That means that we need to allow the storm to move further on. There is something that I need to test, and I'm not sure whether it works or not. And that I'll do... Actually, we'll see how that goes. Because I do want to try to avoid losing the science ship. You probably don't understand what I'm talking about, so you'll see when I get around to it. First of all, I have been looking at the technology tree to have a look at what I feel that we should prioritize. There are some techs on the mess hall that I have actually not seen. The stellar cuisine, which means that one food can feed 50% more crew members per meal, and then the space chef, which tops that up to 100% more crew members per meal. These two are actually really, really good. In addition to the fact that you can accommodate 40% more crew members each meal in one mess hall. Does require the crop farm upgrades here, but those are on their own also not bad. But for now, I am going to want the... which one was it? If I can find it again. Something that required something under steel mill, I think. Oh, for crying out loud. Where was it? Did I finish everything that I wanted there? I was looking at it right before I started the episode recording. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so we're actually done with that, I think. We're going to take the self-cleaning systems. Destruction chance during dangerous weather conditions is reduced by 50%. That's one I want. Let's have a look here. We have collected all of the science. Am I ready to allow the storm to move? I think it's going to engulf this, the planet up there. This should be safe, and I think these should be safe as well as that planet down there. Yeah. Leave the wreckage. Yeah, that's not too bad. Maxwell, you go to the reactor wreckage. And then we have access to these two carbon deposits again. How much carbon do we have stored in Sector 1? Not that much. Let's pick up these carbon deposits. Do we have ships doing that? No. We're almost done picking up the cryopods from the industrial zone. I'm not going to bother picking up the alloys because we have so many alloys that I don't know what to do with all of them. I mean, the most sensible thing to do would be to open a new sector at this point. But I think we'll save that for the next episode. Maybe I'll do it in this one? Depends. Actually, I mean, moving through the storm... Yeah, no. Sorry. I'm a little bit uncertain currently. We'll see where we end up with that. We have, however, arrived at the reactor wreckage, so let's see here. A data summary on Etemenanki reactors. Our sensors have located a section of the Etemenanki drifting in space. First reports indicate that this wreckage was once the ship's engine room and reactors. Transmission from the crew of the Maxwell. We have arrived at the site. Only 2 of the Etemenanki's massive reactors remain. Initial reconnaissance revealed 3 places of interest. the thrusters, the engine room, and the engine supervision area. Let's investigate the engine supervision area first. It doesn't matter which order you do these in, but this one has something that I want. The Maxwell's team will investigate the Etemenanki's engine supervision area to learn more about the superstructure's final moments. Now, inside of the station here, there is definitely stuff we need to do in this sector here. We have unlocked that, so let's get the vacuum-resistant lubricant as well for the final 2%, so we get 10% in total from our solar panels. Power is good. We only have one infirmary in this sector now, but I think that's fine. No, we do have two, but I intend to take this down. I do want the health center, but before we get the health center, we definitely want to get trains. So those two are important technologies to get. But I'm still focusing on the tech upgrades before we go to that part. This area behind here, I could put up a third polymer refinery here, but it's also a good spot for housing if I don't want to use the cell housing for my people here. Actually, if I put a housing there, that leaves enough space for a legislative center or a fire station. Well, isn't that nifty? You know, that's exactly what we're going to do. And the cell housing will probably be removed again. Because, well, for now it can be an alloy reserve. Otherwise, we are in very good shape. And I'm continuing the meme of clicking that instead of this. Ice. You guys can be docked now. I don't need the alloys. Yeah, let's continue what I was doing here actually. Let's, I really don't like that it's wasting tiles there. Maintenance battery there. And I believe I've set this sector to not import that many alloys now. Yes, indeed. Dismantle that. Yeah, that's... The only reason I might want to have the cell housing here is because of the population tier thing. We might be able to fit a medium battery here.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Not sure. The engine...
A new request awaits your attention.
Let me read the event text first before you babble on about the request, please. Thank you, Eden. Of course, she's not going to respect me on that. So, the engine supervision area was mainly occupied by those of rank. Some had time to enter cryopods before the apparent depressurization of the area. Analysis of remaining computer infrastructure indicates that their directives were merciless toward the engine room workers. They treated them as expendable outcasts. There are traces throughout the entire supervisory district of hacking attempts. All ship computers dedicated to the engines and reactors were compromised, preventing the Etemenanki from maneuvering and causing power failures throughout the superstructure. The Maxwell's team has managed to extract remnants of the computer protocols that were used to do this. These fragments of code point to an author, the BMS. Relevant data has been sent to the Tiqqun's tech lab for more detailed analysis. Of course, that is the Black Market Society. So we get 55 science and 168 cryopods, and the new event that Eden was pestering me about is Pirate. We'll get around to that. Now we can investigate the thrusters. And the event should be in the science lab. Administrator. We now have data to analyze Piranesi hacking protocols. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. This should allow us to set up computer protection systems to reduce the impact of any digital attacks. Acknowledged. New technology upgrade. Hacking threat analysis upgrade unlocked for the Piranesi. So that gives us another upgrade here, which is good. We are picking up pods. How many pods do we have in the sector here now? We have 110, 104. Cutting it closer. I don't want the negative penalty. Kangaroo, you haven't picked up stuff yet. I didn't mean to go there. You're on the way to pick up stuff. I'll let the kangaroo pick up that batch of cryopods. We should still be beneath 250 then. I probably also could start giving them normal rations again. It's not like we're lacking food. Okay, so that means that the ship is carrying 30 pods. So what we want to do then is to disable. So that it doesn't pick up more until we have gotten this further down. But to be honest, I suspect that we're going to leave them there. At least for now. I should set this one to be avoided. How much carbon is left up here? 116. We can continue on our silly little rearranging here. I would pause on this, but I mean it's 1 by 1 and 1 battery down up, so, and I don't feel the need to pause when we're just waiting for this to finish off. We are definitely overproducing food. Let's see, sector 6 is here. So if I wanted to dedicate another sector to food production, it would probably make most sense to do it here. And then this sector could be refurbished into something else. The reason why I would want to open up a new sector instead of rearranging this is because rearranging a sector, especially the one producing food, is not a very good idea. As a matter of fact, it is a very bad idea. It is probably the worst possible idea you can do when the sector is this populated by buildings. Okay, let's go back to the reactor wreckage. The Etamananki seemed capable of achieving 2 different types of propulsion. The intrasystem mode of propulsion has many similarities to Dolo's EKP. Cross-referencing mission data reveals a number of matches to the encounter near Saturn during the Tiqqun's initial test phase. Their inter-system propulsion covers many of the basic operations of the Vol engine. Our team has noted the remains of numerous accreditation areas. Access to and knowledge of the propulsion modes seem to have been strictly regulated. The 2 reactors were damaged at the same time as the larger superstructure, and our analysis has revealed traces of gluon particles. We get 38 signs from that. So let's inspect the engine room. Actually, opening up that sector might be It might be on the menu for the episode after all. That said, I do need more technologies before I do that. The one that we finished now was... yeah, so we're at 811 power, thanks to having these. This one, I'm not going to care about it. Batteries. Tier 2 requires a solid-state battery, so we're going for that one. Remove these. And then another battery here, and dismantle that. Are you... yeah, you're both on your way back, so stop picking up because we have enough. Not too worried about this docking bay here being clogged because ice is the only thing that it accepts, so that's fine. $1,588 people in this one sector. I'm not entirely sure how I want to rearrange this sector. Getting the battery techs will help though, because that will show me how big these are. We should also get the large stockpile. The cell housing, it's got a footprint of 8 by 2. That leaves place for 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries if I build it here. I mean, I might as well.
A science ship team has completed a task.
I need to do that though. Okay, so the final event at the Reactor Wreckage. The Yetimananki's engines were not supported by a PA or even basic AI. Instead, crew members were constantly monitoring, adjusting and repairing the engines and thrusters. Their living conditions were extremely precarious, and it would seem many of them were either prisoners or rejects from the population on board the Yetimananki. Traces of writing were found within some dormitory cells referring to genetic conatus and the Ashtangites. There are records of several serious breakdowns before the final explosion. Crew members would work waist deep in coolant, some dying while performing their tasks within the toxic substance. Those who refused were executed by their supervisors. So the UN basically used the Ashtangites and criminals from Earth to keep the engines running. It's a miracle that the Yetimananki got all this way at all. Also, the UN doesn't seem to be that much of a benevolent organization, given how they treat these people with different views than theirs. We're not going to leave. That would be a horrible, horrible mistake. So we have more than 200 science. That's brilliantly good. Can also build a battery here. Okay, battery tier 2. It's 5 by 5. I don't like that size. Battery. Tier 3 requires lithium sulfur battery. Sure. That's a good tech anyways, so... Yeah, I need to put up the third battery here as well. Everything seems to be going rather well. I think we can construct another solar panel by now. We have the necessary carbon for it, and we even have a lot of carbon in excess in here, so...
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Yes, of course it has. How are we doing for waste? Maybe we should enable another... Yeah, I need to go and modify the electronics. 40, Sector 2... 40 in Sector 5 and 40 in Sector 6. I just need them to be spread out here, so we have more space. I really don't want to set up or rearrange things here to get a medium stockpile of electronics. This sector has 5.7 cycles worth of battery power. Okay, now I can fit a cell housing, so we'll do that. Don't like the wasted tiles there, but not much I can do about that. I really do need to see if putting up that cell housing is sufficient for my goals. And while we wait for these things to complete, I might as well pause the recording, so be right back. And not even that was enough when it comes to the Tier 2 specialization. For some reason, people are starting to live in here. I'm going to let them if they prefer to live in the cell housing instead of living inside of a demotic quarter. That's their choice. I did unlock the Tier 3 batteries, and those are 7x7, and they store 700 power. So, yeah, that's 7 in one, and it's even less than 9x9. So we're going to build one of those. That requires 60 alloys. I definitely want one of those, definitely. That means we also get some more free space up here for demotic quarters. That thing is really efficient. As for more technology, batteries is interesting in terms of the deoxidized contacts and so forth for the charging speed. I don't think I want all of these, but I do think that I want deoxidized contacts. But I don't think it's necessary yet. We do... Actually, we might actually want all of these before we leave the chapter. The hull deterioration while moving, that could be useful, but we don't need it yet. So that's fine as well. Getting the post-decryonization treatment is also a consideration, but again, not needed yet. So I think we are going to go with the train station. We're building the solar panel, which is why our hull integrity is dropping. I should probably power on this one. In Sector 2, we don't have enough battery power here. We can power down the electronics array. That gives us that one. Not bad. Does that come back if I turn that on again? No, it doesn't. So we'll fulfill that one. I'm thinking that we might want tier 3 battery in this sector as well, but I know I...
Hull integrity below 50%.
Yes, I'm aware. Not sure where we would fit this. I mean, I could remove the memorial, but that's probably not a good idea. A tier 2 battery? I mean, I'd really like to have this space reserved for the fire station in case. I mean, I haven't encountered fires, but still. These batteries provide a total of... now they're up to 120. So that's 6 times 120 is 720? No. 600 plus 120. Yeah, 720. This one would give us 360. If I replaced those and put houses there, I wouldn't get room for... yeah, no. The tier 1 batteries will be... will have to be sufficient for this sector. I mean, I could remove one of the waste treatment facilities, but I'm not really that keen on doing that. I can't fit a battery here. I can fit a battery here if I do some creative shenanigans with the road, because the road isn't really strictly that necessary up there. I think I will do that. So I need 7 tiles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we can build the road like that, and we can get a tier 3 battery there. This sector is really important to not lose power in because it's responsible for the hull repair. And I might even mirror that and have another large battery at the other side here. Because we can reclaim these areas, so we should be good in that sense. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording again, and I will be back. What are we researching? The train station? Yeah, let's wait with that. Let's build the train station first, and because I know people like to see me place down things the first time, and I can understand that. Can speed up things. One of these is like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batteries worth.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Okay, now we can build a train station. Let's build a train station in sector 1, and a train station in sector 6. And a train station in sector 2. And of course we will also build a train station in sector 5. I also had to open another mess hall because apparently we have too many people here to feed them with one mess hall now. The other thing that I would like is the health center, but we don't have enough science for that currently. We are going to research these, but they are not prioritized. These technologies... well, these might actually be good, but these technologies seems really, really useless to me. Let's get the chemical fusion... not... wait, because I'm going to be using the... water treatment center for water. 50 waste per cycle, that's a lot. That is a lot. Consider that I'm currently using 2, 3, 4, 200 divided by... I'm using 20 waste per cycle currently. No, I would not be able to do that. So currently, indeed, getting the chemical fusion would be a good idea. These are probably dependent upon it as well, so let's just get it. The train station are being built. They're not going to do me much good for now. The main purpose of a train station is to transport people. So what the train station does in terms of people, just to explain it very quickly. Say that I wanted to move population from Sector 2 to Sector 5. Normally that would take 3 cycles because it takes 1 cycle per sector. So the population would have to move through Sector 1 and then through Sector 6, and then it would arrive in Sector 5 in the 3rd cycle. Or actually, would it be the 4th cycle? Not sure. What the train station does is that when all the sectors have train stations, from Sector 2 to Sector 5, the population will move from Sector 2 to 5 in 1 cycle, because they will be using the trains instead. So that's really the main benefit I will have from the train station for now. Eventually, though, we'll get the Cult of the Hull Temple. I believe that one, I'm not sure. I know the Exo-Fighting Dome extends. Yeah, that extends to each sector via the train stations. So one of these somewhere, if we have train station in all sector, will have the +1 stability everywhere. The health center, that also gets the benefit of the train station. I'm not sure about other buildings. I know those two at least. And we have trains. And we all love trains, don't we? You can make the trains invisible. By clicking that, I make them invisible. I can make them transparent, so that I can see through. But for now, I'll just leave them on opaque, so we can see them because they look cool. And with that... we are almost ready. What's our battery status? 10.8. Chemical fusion has been unlocked. Yeah, I think we're ready. I think we are ready. Tiqqun, move to the Reactor Wreckage base. So, things are getting interesting now. All of our ships, except for the science ship here, the Maxwell, should be inside of the Tiqqun currently, and they are. How is our current status on cryopods? Yeah, we can send the cargo ship to pick up 2 batches of cryopods.
Caution. Entering debris field.
Already? Yep. And here we are. $72, we'll let it go one more time. We also want the hull integrity to be at maximum before we do the next few little steps. 110, 180. 48 left. They are throwing people very quickly. $208. Yep, it can go one more trip. Might actually pick up all of them. probably should turn it off. I am going to pick up all of them before we do the next move, so I shall return shortly. Okay, I think we are ready. I've done some rearranging in the sectors while I was waiting for collection of more cryopods and a little bit more ice, and then now I need to set these nodes to be avoided, because that is kind of important. And just to make sure that you have everything avoided, you can always go to the fleet management and see that all of these show 0. That means that everything visible to you is avoided, and I'd like that they've added that functionality, because when it's avoided, it's not shown. So this one has 98. If I unavoid it, you will see there's 98 available for collection. So that's a good way to check before you do what we're going to do now. But quickly and very briefly, before we do the move, what I've done in this sector, I think that I might be overdoing it on the batteries here. I probably don't need 2 tier 3 batteries in this sector, because we have enough for 13.2 cycles here now, which seems a bit ridiculous. I've shut down the alloy factories because we don't need more alloys. I've also shut down the carbon factories. In this sector, I haven't really done anything else. In the sector here, I had this thing turned the wrong way around, so I had to move the alloys down here temporarily and move them back up so it's facing downwards. And now I get a tier 2 battery in this sector, in addition to the tier 1 batteries, which means we are up to 7 point something. We'll probably end up at 9-ish. And in this sector, I've started another demotic quarter and tearing down these batteries so I can get yet another demotic quarter in there. And we're at 7.9 cycles of power in this sector. And we have all the cryopods. Now, if you're going to follow my guidance on this, what you want to do now, before you do anything else, is to pause the game. Then, you are going to go into the event at the Reactor Wreckage, and you're going to click Leave the Ruined Propulsion Systems. Now this will move the storm. So before the storm moves, you want to click your science ship and click back to Tiqqun. Then set the time speed back to normal. And hopefully the ship did enter the Tiqqun before this happened. And as you can see, the storm has now moved and is completely engulfing the Tiqqun and in its entirety. So we are now in the middle of both the debris field and the storm, but we can't see the storm since we are in the debris field. The next thing you want to do is to click Move the Tiqqun, and then we're going to go through the storm. It's going to take us 3.6 cycles, but it's the quickest we can do. This one is 4 cycles, this one is 4.1, this one is 3.8 as you saw. So 3.6 is the best one we can do. I'm going to reference something JD said, which is to skip doing Proc P38 and instead do these 4 and then move the Tiqqun to Croc P42 and move from P42 to the depressurized R&D district. The reason for that is that the trajectory will have you move through more of this non-dense storm area, while this trajectory is going through the dense area here. So there is probably a higher chance that you will lose people through this trajectory than from Croc P42. But we'll see. Let's pray to our Jesus for a good result and as few deaths as possible, and confirm the movement.
Caution. Entering stellar storm.
Indeed. And this is a nasty storm. With lots and lots and lots of pleasant lightning. But this is why I wanted to get the EKP engines up to maximum speed and so forth. We also want to enable the third EVA in Sector 1 because, yes, that is very important. No deaths, but 5 crew members injured. The station hasn't been struck yet. Follow the journey down here. Now, some of you might be asking, but Caledron, how are you going to get the colonization done up at the final planet? Well, we'll get it. Don't worry. We can actually turn off the UI here so we can just see. In a bizarre way, it's actually kind of beautiful as well. How much is left of our journey? We're nearly there. More than halfway. We haven't been struck by lightning yet. Even though there is ample of it. The sound effect is also really good and properly eerie. Yes, this seems good so far. Should be reaching the... Yes, we have reached the end of the storm.
Caution. Entering debris field.
And we are out of it. And here is the R&D district. And we have arrived without one single casualty. So we're now at the other side of the storm. And it's kind of important to leave these at avoided. Now there's going to be science events going on and stuff like that, obviously. But I think that for the as in for this episode, since the last episode was a bit longer than usual, we can make this episode a couple of minutes shorter than usual. Although with my talking, it's probably going to be a bit more. What we are going to have to do now is use probes and find resource nodes and points of interest down here. There are a few. We can now safely traverse these 4 districts: the depressurized R&D district, the medical district, the habitation sector, and the destroyed docking bay. So we'll do that and get more science. Of course, I will not be doing any of that off camera. The probes, I probably will... no, I might actually do that on camera, because I think that you guys who are doing this might be using this as a tutorial walkthrough thing to also discover things quickly. So I think we'll, even though you can just look at the map after I've done the probes, but we'll do the probes and the science missions in the next episode. And with that, if you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section as per usual. And also, if you don't have any questions and comments, a little emoji or something down there, just to appease the YouTube algorithm gods, is very much appreciated. I hope that you enjoyed the episode and the trip through the storm, and I hope to see you all in the next one.